All right, straight ahead, Eyewitness News at 5 takes you live to Times Square. Yes, live from New York, where New Yorkers are getting ready to welcome in the new year, and the official timekeeper is synchronizing her watch for the countdown. We'll be right back. If you don't get enough of Brent Musburger on the weekends, CBS has a treat in store for you tonight. The Weston, Connecticut resident will be conducting the countdown to the new year tonight, and he's replacing Kermit the Frog, which we all know is a tough act to follow. But Brent doesn't say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 until Tama Starr tells him to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tama Starr is the official timekeeper for the Big Apple that comes down at Times Square to tell us the new year, and she joins us live from New York tonight. Tama, thank you for joining us.
And thank you, Gerry. It's a pleasure to be here.
This is great. Now, how did you get this job?
I inherited the job. My grandpa started the first ball in 1908, and then my dad did it, and my brother, and now it's my turn.
All right, I've got to know, what is the official timepiece to tell us that 1987 is here?
Well, we set our Mickey Mouse watch to the National Bureau of Standards in Fort Collins, Colorado, and Mickey is really for good luck. He's backed up by a lot of digital watches, and we set them all together up until about 11 o'clock p.m.
All right,
and I think you can see the building. We're going to be up on the roof of that building and lowering the ball down that flagpole, and we'll be taking it up in about half an hour and lighting it up, and that'll be the official start of New Year's Eve.
Well, Tama, I got to ask you, is there any sort of constant fear that the Big Apple might get stuck or just slide down before it's supposed to?
Well, there's a peculiar thing that happens sometimes, which is, as you can see, we're in a big canyon here with all the tall buildings, and occasionally, when the weather is very bad, we get updrafts up the face of the building, tends to push the ball right back up the pole. So the fellows have to leap on the tag lines and actually pull it down.
All right. Now, taking into account that the whole nation is watching, what kind of work goes into this event? And I don't know who's breaking in on our conversation here, but how many people are involved?
The crew is 7 people. There are 6 guys on the ropes. There's an electrician who throws the switches at exactly midnight, turning off the ball and turning on the numbers 1987. And then there's me keeping the time and counting down, and I've been counting since Christmas.
You already look excited. How many years have you been involved in this? I know you said your family was involved in it. Does it ever fail to be exciting for you at that precise second?
It cannot fail to be exciting. Just being up there and participating in something so big. The crowd here in Times Square will be more than 300,000 people tonight, and everybody will be watching. It's just very, very intoxicating.
All right, what's the situation there now, Tama? How many people are in Times Square right about now?
Right now, there are quite a few. There are several thousand people. It's about the size of a large town already. You can see the police barricades are up. People are wearing their funny hats. The vendors are out selling the horns, and people are starting to celebrate.
You're a New Year's Eve veteran, obviously, being at the biggest New Year's Eve spot in the whole country, maybe even the whole world. As a veteran New Year's Eve watcher, is there anything new this year? Any trends we should know about in celebration?
There's something new about this particular celebration, which is that there was some doubt a couple of years ago that all of this glitter and glitz that you see might just be raised in favor of big, giant, cold glass office buildings. But the people spoke up, and the politicians have changed their mind, and all of a sudden everybody's decided that they like to keep all this glitter and glitz, and all this is going to be going on for the foreseeable future. So we've had a big rescue this year.
All right, Tama, as long as we have the camera right on you, do you actually have Mickey Mouse on now?
I sure do.
Could we see him?
Let me see if you can see him here. Okay. Here's Mickey. You see him all right?
Uh-huh.
Here's my ordinary everyday wristwatch, which I also wear.
Uh-huh.
And here's the digital clock that actually keeps time. But without Mickey, we couldn't do it.
Can you count us down? Can you give us a sample countdown when you're telling them to drop that ball? Can we hear what it actually sounds like?
Okay, well, I tell them, go, and that's when it starts to come down. And then I tell them 15 seconds, and I tell them 30 seconds, because I'm watching the markers go by the marker on the pole.
Mm-hmm.
If it's too slow, I tell them speed her up, and if it's too fast, I tell them slow it down. And the idea is for it to get to the bottom at exactly midnight, and then I yell, switch. And the electrician throws the switch, turns off the ball and turns on the numbers, and the crowd explodes, and that's New Year.
Do you get an incredible feeling of power? You might be the most powerful person on earth at that very 1 second.
Well, sometimes we can't help thinking that if we stop the ball in the middle or something, time would just stop. We do get thoughts like that being up on that tower on New Year's Eve, but I don't think it'll happen. Everybody expects a certain thing, and that's what they're going to get.
All right, Tama, Starr, have a ball tonight, and a Big Apple, too.
Thanks so much, Gerry, and a very happy New Year to you and all your viewers.
Thank you
Happy New
very
Year
much.
from Times Square.
All right, wish we were there.